Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about a very important difference between a promise and a command of God, because these are two completely different things when it comes to who is doing the acting, okay? So if God said something to us and we immediately think that it means that we are the ones to perform it. And that is why we so quickly take matters into our own hands, thinking that God won't manage it without us. And of course, this is a mistake. And for example, God made a promise to Abraham that he will become a father of countless descendants and that his hair will come from his own body, okay? So if you want to trigger your memory just a little bit, you can read Genesis chapters from 15 till 18 about this fascinating event. So in Genesis 17:9, it says, "Then God said to Abraham, 'Your responsibility is to obey the terms of the covenant,'" right? And later on, we read that Sarah suggests that her husband sleep with her servant Hagar, and getting straight to the point, Hagar conceived and had a son named Ishmael. But Ishmael wasn't the child of the promise. And some might say that Sarah acted out of impatience, while others might say that she didn't believe she could conceive a child herself. But either way, she did it in an attempt to make the promise unfold on her own. But here's the thing, God himself brings his promises to pass. More often than not, we don't help, we interfere. Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. It is written in Genesis 18 verse 14. So the phrase "don't birth an Ishmael" originated from this, which literally means do not take matters into your own hands when it comes to waiting on God to act. But we cannot blame Sarah, okay? Because we all do the same thing. She simply did not know how it is gonna happen. And we don't know either. Our lack of understanding is actually a confirmation that the promise is from God, because in this case, we are deprived of the opportunity to boast. And because if we could do it ourselves, why would we seek, wait, and trust? In Luke chapter 1, verse 37, it says, "For nothing will be impossible with God." And an interesting thing is that it doesn't end with God, because the same pattern works in our relationship with other people. And what is present between us and him always reflects in our earthly relationships. And for instance, when someone makes a promise to you, it is certainly not for you to fulfill, right? And it's not for you to overthink or worry about, and not for you to prepare, to appoint a time, set a deadline, and ultimately not for you to act. It's not for us to be in control or in charge. Am I right? What is for us then? To wait, to be patient, to be still, to stay close to the one who made the promise, continuing to do what we were called to do. To have unwavering faith and trust that what has been promised will surely happen. In Habakkuk 2:3 it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but in the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." Well, another thing is when you wait for a very long period of time, okay, as it was with Sarah and Abraham, for example, and you eventually start doubting him, his nature, yourself, your ability to hear his voice, and the promise itself. Did he forget and abandon me? Did he leave me? Does he not care? Did he change his mind about the promise and forget to inform me? Did I do something wrong? Should I do something about it? Should I take matters into my own hands? What if it's never gonna happen? What if I was mistaken? What if I simply made it all up? It's all spinning around our heads. And it is always about the character. And highly anxious people know how challenging it can be to be in relationships. It is hard not to make negative conclusions or create scenarios about what is happening when someone important doesn't reply quickly, doesn't call or write back. And the mind goes back and forth, intrusive thoughts spinning around, seemingly having no end. In moments like these, you are questioning your loved one, your worth, and the union itself. It undermines the authenticity and quality of the relationships. And as you can see, the very first thing that is attacked is our perception of that person's heart. And if we weren't holding on to the right image of them, we would fall into deception. We would believe the lie and accept the illusion that came through the lenses of our fear as if it were the truth. And Satan is, was, and will be after division, okay? And he manipulates our minds using our past experiences, memories, imagination, and thoughts, all of that. That is why the Bible clearly says that we must have our mind renewed. Without it, it's impossible to walk by faith and not by sight, because not seeing requires believing. But how can you believe in the one who is not seen if you doubt his nature every time something doesn't go as you expected or according to your timeline? When we do not believe in the possibility of the promise, we despise and diminish his almightiness. Another thing is with a command, because if it has been given, it's up to us to act in faith and confidence, not looking at fear. In this scenario, the responsibility of performing lies on us, even if God is the one who provides and helps. But today we're not talking about it. And to finish, I'd like to share a conclusion on the theme that I recently made. When you don't see or hear him, keep in mind a remembrance of his character and remind yourself of his heart. When you wait, hold onto what you already know about him. Only by remembering his true nature and being familiar with his personality can we move forward, regardless of whether we see immediate results. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Isaiah 60:22. Thank you.